chosen on the team, or, being chosen last during PE, or bullying, not having anyone to eat lunch with, or, that, those things just stay with you for so many years. And even in my 20s and early 30s, it still stuck with me. And so if we can talk about beliefs and limiting beliefs to these kids, like, I just can't even imagine the difference, my life, how different my life would be had I not had that belief, because it was so ingrained in me. Because if I had that belief, I would almost not even try on something, because no, they don't like me. They're not going to like me, and so it's so powerful. And, to teach these kids how to navigate struggles and life's ups and downs, because it's going to happen, especially in those age, puberty and all that. So when they can know how to navigate the struggles and how to pick themselves up after they fall, they're going to have such a better experience. And overall, I mean, that's what we all want, right? To be happy. So
I think it's great. And imagine how that would have helped you back then if things like this would have been taken seriously back in that time. I mean, now lots of things in schools are taken very, very seriously regarding the anxiety, regarding the depression, the bullying. The school districts and the schools have really, really come together and had a look at what's happening in school instead of thinking that the parents can figure it out at home. There's a lot of help that we're getting now, to do things. So I like that. I love that these programs are available. Tell me a bit more about what you do with the adults, because, I mean, that's a wonderful thing that you do. It seems so intense what you're doing with the young people. I can't even imagine what you're doing with the people that are of age, the older ones. Tell me a bit more about how you're helping them, because it's honestly sounds like you're doing a fabulous job already. And tell me more about what you're doing with the adults, because I'm interested. I know you have a 12-week program that you run. Tell us a little bit of, you don't have to tell us the whole story, but tell us a little bit about what you've going on with that 12 weeks.
Yeah. Okay. So the 12-week program, it's my signature program, because what I'm finding is there's a lot of people out there who are, unsatisfied, dissatisfied and lost, and don't know what their purpose is, and just struggling. And my goal is that people don't relive Groundhog Day over and over and call it a life. Hopefully everybody catches the Groundhog Day
yes.
From that movie.
Yeah.
But, there's a lot of things that come up when we talk about self-worth, or when we talk about boundaries. And just when somebody starts to open up, there's a lot that comes up. And so 12 weeks gives us a really good chance to really get to know each other, for them to learn some new skills, and also allows for integration, because, if they're trying to practice boundaries, and, one woman in particular, she had issues with family who they really stomped on her boundaries, and it created a lot of stress in her life. And so when she was able to get clear on her boundaries and really know, like, why she needs to honor these boundaries, and, how good she can feel when she does, and just it took that power and that hold it had over her, and she could actually live a life more in alignment with who she wants to be and the type of life she wants. So, a lot of people come and they're kind of going through like a transition, or perhaps a job change, or even people who have never done any of this self-discovery work. Those are my favorite people. I mean, I love everybody, but when they haven't done any, it's the most rewarding thing, because the transformation is astronomical.
Good, because they're not expecting that it's even going to help them. They come almost with an attitude of, oh no, this doesn't work for me. I don't believe in all of this, and I'm not going to do this sometimes. And just to see that transformation, and wow, is the real them that's coming out, the thing that they've lost, or the creativity they're now seeing. It's great.
It really is. Honestly, it feeds my soul like nothing else. So, I mean, all this work does, to be perfectly honest, but and then you hear them, they speak differently, they sound differently, their vibe is different, everything's different, because they're speaking from a place of authenticity and, integrity and they're feeling in alignment with like their true self, there's that inner guidance system that we have. And when we're tuned into that and living on purpose, it like people will be like, whoa, what the heck happened to you?
But that's good, because that's the side of them they're now going to live with, because that bit was sort of tucked away a little bit and now it's come out. And sometimes when you bring that other person out, people aren't really expecting that person. It's not always welcomed in a way that they hoped. So sometimes when they bring out that, I guess, their greater self and their more confident, better A gamer that they bring out, that's something so new to some people that it's not always welcomed 100%. But I love how people stand firm and they feel great that this is who I am. This is what, this is what I've discovered, and this is where how I want to live. So I love to see that transition side. I do.
It's really neat. And, the thing that is great about it being 12 weeks is because there are people that want to sabotage you, and maybe they don't even mean to sabotage you, but when somebody tries to make a lifestyle change and Aunt Betty's like, oh, well, I made your favorite cake. Come on, have a piece, come on,
Yes.
It can happen in real life, like where people want to push your boundaries. And like, if you've told somebody, just an example, this is so slight of an example, but it's like, if you told somebody not to call you past 10 o'clock because you work in the morning and they still call you at midnight drunk, like that's a boundary.
It is.
And, it takes time. It takes being firm. And sometimes you need to just be able to, I get called back and be like, oh, what do I do? Like, this just feels so hard to reinforce this boundary. And, so for me to hold space for them and to sort things out, it's that integration that's key. So yeah, it's a beautiful thing.
It's good. Now, you live in the Okanagan and I live in the Okanagan. It puts me in a good mood every day. I'm happy to be here. I do believe personally it helps me have a positive attitude, because everywhere I look, even when I'm in a traffic jam, I can see beautiful scenery. Tell me what you do in the Okanagan and how that helps you with your positive mindset.
The Okanagan, I'm so grateful. I give gratitude to it every day. I just yesterday was at the beach for 4 hours floating on my little $12 floaty.
Oh, good. Yes.
And, so just to bring my sparkling water and a good book and just go float in the sun, or, just go for a walk in nature is so clearing of the mind. And, it's such a beautiful outdoor playground we have, really.
And what else do you do here? I know you like the water. Do you go hiking? I think I've seen some Facebook things, some lives where you've been up. You look very high up somewhere to me. So are you hiking a lot? Like, what else are you doing here that just really helps you kind of love where you live?
Yeah, the water is definitely, I always gravitate towards the water. Going on walks, whether it's just at, flat or whether it's up the mountain, and we've got so many mountains, and the view is always so spectacular every direction. Love my friends, and so I have been getting camping lots and fishing, and I have a Nissan Rogue, so I can just plop the seats down and have my air mattress and go somewhere and wake up with the most spectacular view. So bring the grill and some shish kebabs, and I can picnic anywhere.
You can just be anywhere. So yeah. So no, I feel very privileged to live here as well. I call it my dream destination because I just feel like there's nothing else. When you come in on an aeroplane from WestJet, they say if you're visiting here, then have a wonderful time, and if you're coming home, then lucky you. And I want to stand up and shout in the aeroplane, lucky me, everybody, lucky me. But I'm sure I do that. That's how I feel. I think they really, really describe it really, really great. So how can we get a hold of you to have you speak at our events, have coaching, like anything that you offer that you do? What's the best way to get hold of Kandace?
So Facebook is great. I do a lot of live videos on Facebook. I'm always on there meeting new people. And so, yeah, Facebook, my name, Kandace Stoneman. You can find me. It's public. And then email, and I'll just spell that out real quick. And if you don't have a pen, probably you can just ask Sarah. But Kandace, Kandace at guideyourmind.ca. So just guide your mind. And those are the best ways. Of course, I still take phone calls. So,
oh, good, good.
Yeah, 250-808-1151. And those are probably the best ways. So yeah, whether it's, doing parent-teacher days or working in the school with a teacher, or my private workshops with youth, with kids, with youth, with women, or even corporations. I've branched out and been doing speaking for corporations to increase morale and having a better work life. And so yeah, there's lots of different ways. And it's really overarching. My message is the same whether I'm talking to kids, youth, or adults. It really is. It's just, I changed the language a bit. The games are different, or like the interactive bits, they're just, more geared towards adults or more geared towards younger people. So, but yes, to answer your question, Facebook or email is probably the best, or phone.
Okay, that's great. And I just want you to quickly tell us about Mindset Mondays. We didn't mention that, the show that you do on Mondays.
Yeah, Mindset Mondays.
Yes, we didn't talk about that.
It's fairly new. It's just maybe about 2 months old. It's where I have a amazing woman, mostly women actually, but men are of course welcome, that I like to highlight, and I like to, I just feel so grateful to know so many amazing people, especially, entrepreneurs and just people who are so heart-centered, doing amazing things. And whether they are an entrepreneur or not, if they're a mom and they're doing amazing things with that, like, I just want to highlight people who are showing up and, being authentic and have a message. So, I'm always looking for people to have on, because I do it every Monday at 11 a.m. So if anyone is interested or knows somebody who might be interested, I would love to chat with them. And my website is being rebuilt at the moment, or I would have given you my website earlier, but, find me on Facebook, and yeah, we can go from there.
Excellent. Kandace, you've been an amazing guest tonight. I knew that you would. I selfishly pick people that I find interesting myself. So I know I always want the listeners to be interested, but I know that I've been very interested and engaged this evening in what you've been talking about. I know it really goes in with my view of creating a life that you love. So thank you very much for coming on tonight. I really appreciate you being here. So we've got all of the details to get hold of Kandace. If you need to talk to her, or have her come and speak at your event, that would be great. I'm going to talk just a few minutes, heading out now. I've got about 3 minutes left on the air. I'm just going to talk a little bit about some things that I'm doing here. If you want to get hold of me on Facebook, it's Sarah Shakespeare. But on Instagram, it's the other way. If you look for me on Instagram, I'm Shakespeare Sarah. On Twitter, I'm Sarah Shakespeare as well. And I actually have a new website that I hope is going to be coming out in the next 2 weeks. That's got everything you need to know about me and all the stuff that I do. And that's sarahshakespeare.com. I do motivational things on my Facebook and Instagram every single day. So if you're looking for something to motivate you, or different sayings, I do my videos where I talk about different things that I'm most passionate about. They're 2-minute videos. And I always think that everybody has got 2 minutes to listen to something. So if you do need some inspiration, look for my videos. I've probably got over 100 to 200 videos now on my Facebook. I've been doing it for a long time on there. And I always like you to take some things away at the end of the show when I go. And one thing that I really want to say is real growth starts with people. Find amazing people that you can be around, that align with your values and everything that you want to do to create a life that you love. I also want you to show patience in creating that life that you're going to love. A lot of people just say it's not happening for me. It's quick. I wish it could be now. Really, really show patience in where you want to go with things. And, plan ahead. Think about 52 weeks from now. What could you be doing 52 weeks from now? Think about that. I know I talk about the 100-year plan, but think about 52 weeks from now. So thank you very much for being on air with me tonight. I do love doing this show. I love having the great guests on here. I love talking about things that are coming up for me. And I really, really am available to talk to anybody that wants to come and work with me as well. My number, because I also like old-fashioned phone calls, is 250-864-2936. get hold of me through Facebook, Instagram. You can text me, however you need to speak to me. So I'm here. Looking forward to seeing you again next week on Create a Life